Welcome back to the NTV360 podcast. Today I have on a digital marketing expert, Ms. Claire Cohn. Claire, thank you so much for taking time to come on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I'm thrilled to talk to you. You are a leader in the company, especially as part of the digital marketing services team. I know that you have an extensive background in digital marketing. So if you don't mind, tell us a little bit more about your skill set and what you do here on a day-to-day.
So I come from a social media background. I went to school for marketing, and it's always been my main point of interest. But moving forward, kind of with this job role, I started in social media here, doing advertising, management, helping clients get onboarded. And then now I kind of transitioned over into a franchisee digital marketing consultant role where I am working with those franchisees very closely on prospects, proposals, training them on all the concepts of digital marketing, all of that.
I mean, you stay busy. Every time I look over at y'all's team, you guys are always on the phone. You're always, emailing, creating new, reports, some of the audit type of stuff that you guys do. But you mentioned a lot there, right? From handling proposals to prospecting, all of that. From a franchisee's perspective, what does that look like for them? What exactly are you doing in terms of prospects and proposals, if you don't mind laying that out a little bit?
So our support ranges from helping our dealers get equipped with Google Workspace and then transitioning all the way into creating a prospect map to go hit some businesses in their territory. So I am there every step of the way, and we're there to answer any phone calls, emails, hop on Google Meet meetings, going over anything as far as, who they're going to hit next and which industries are going to be best for which digital marketing services, but also being able to provide them with all the knowledge, materials, and resources possible to go out into the field and sell and pitch those specific products.
Wow, A to Z, sounds like.
Yes.
So let's dive a little bit deeper even into a little bit more of the prospecting like you mentioned. You mentioned how we help them map out their territory, all that. With the digital marketing side, how does that play into what we're doing with the billboards? How do those things kind of tie in together?
So when a franchisee onboards with us here at NTV360, we are starting out with building their client network with host locations or venue partners, meaning putting these billboards up in their local businesses in that territory of theirs. And from that point moving forward, once they have an established number, about 15 to 20 of those venue partners, we introduce DMS. Where that comes in is DMS is going to be an amazing tool and resource for dealers to be able to offer to all of their existing client network to be able to bundle in DMS products, such as Google Business Profile Management, social media management, maybe even a new website, so that you're really able to offer everything as a franchisee to those specific prospects and clients of yours, and you don't just limit it to billboards.
I like that a lot. And when you use this term bundling, right? So obviously pairing the screens with these digital products, how do you know what the best bundles are? You guys have some bundles that you recommend. What does that look like?
So our biggest focus right now is going to be Google Business Profile bundles with those host locations or those advertisers. It really can be bundled with both of those very, very well because there's a storyline that goes behind Google Business Profile and the screens. The way that we kind of funnel that into conversation with those prospects and clients is going to be when somebody sees, that ad on a billboard, when they walk into that venue partner location, the first thing that they're going to do is look that business up online to research it a little bit more before they want to become a customer. So with that being said, with Google having 87% of that market share online, that Google Business Profile is going to pop up first. So it's a really efficient way to be able to bundle something with those clients saying, as soon as a client or a potential customer is interested in seeing your ad, they're going to find you, and you want to make sure that your Google Business Profile is up to date, optimized, existing, of course, and also just fully equipped for that consumer to be able to research a little bit more and see their hours and all that information that they have to offer.
Great answer. Pretend I know nothing about any of this. When you say Google Business Profile, what is that?
So Google Business Profile is going to be a specific profile that Google has created for businesses to have that opportunity for those type of keyword phrases such as, restaurants near me, landscapers near me. Because of Google's hyper-local marketing approach with those Google Business Profiles, anytime somebody looks up any of those types of phrases that I just said, so a near me, maybe it's going to be a specific city name and whatever industry or business that they're looking for, like a hair salon, that Google Business Profile with optimizations is going to be the first thing that pops up. Whichever of the leading businesses in that specific location and that proximity are going to be the ones that show up first. And that profile is going to contain things for like their hours, their address, their phone number, pictures of inside of their building or brick and mortar location, or maybe their service area, offerings, services, etc. So it's going to be a really great way to showcase almost a little bit of a profile on Google for people who are searching up those businesses to kind of any consumer questions that they have, they're able to kind of get answered by viewing that profile.
That makes perfect sense. It's like the first impression, like you said, of what people will think about you as a business. So having that not only optimized, but looking aesthetically pleasing and all that kind of stuff, I feel like that makes a lot of sense logically. And you mentioned that the backstory of GBP plays in perfectly with the billboards. Expand on that a little bit. Why is that?
So the relationship between Google Business Profile and indoor digital billboards goes beyond just their online presence. It's going to be a specific sort of a sales funnel with those types of prospects that you're trying to reach with that type of advertising being inside of those venue partners. So the way that this works and kind of the success that we've seen with it really stems in the fact that when we're making these ads on the indoor digital billboards, we want to make sure that they are pointing toward the business name, their offerings, specials, getting people enticed to learn a little bit more, right? So from that point, any of those prospects or people who see those ads are going to be searching online for that business to learn more. Everybody wants to research a business before they purchase, before they become a customer. So with that being said, the best way to do that is going to be online. And the first thing that pops up with Google being that default search engine is going to be their Google Business Profile. If a business doesn't have one, if maybe it's not optimized fully and their competitors are right next door on that page, a consumer is going to be deterred if it is not going to be a perfect or optimized profile. So with that being said, we want to make sure that not only does the ad look visually appealing and great, but the Google Business Profile, the place where that consumer is being led to in that sales funnel, is ready for them to convert into a customer. Make that phone call, click the website, book that appointment, make that reservation at the restaurant, whatever it may be, that call to action. We want to make sure that the funnel is working correctly and that they work together in order to bring in that potential sale.
That cohesive approach makes perfect sense. So thank you for laying all that out. That really helps actually me even understand quite a bit, and I work here. So thank you. So that makes sense. So that's the first bundle because it's an easier story to tell. Everyone knows what Google is, at least, even if they don't know what the profile is. Once they do it, I feel like they're like, oh, got it. So outside of that, what else do we bundle? Does everything kind of bundle, or how does that all play out from y'all's perspective?
So there is a customer journey and a sales funnel at play with digital marketing products. Being first that we want to make sure, no matter what the business or industry is, we want to make sure that they have their foundation set. What that foundation is going to be 3 products. It's going to be their website, their Google Business Profile, and their social media. These are all platforms where you can exist but basically for free online as a business. And these are going to be the trusted platforms and places that your consumers are going in order to find out more about you as a business before they convert into a customer. So with that being said, before we do any form of advertising for any business, we want to make sure that this is audited, meaning we're researching these and making sure that they all look great, they're presentable, they're visually appealing, they're optimized with keywords containing their services or menu items or offerings. And then from that point moving forward, that's when we start to dip into other forms of advertising. So we build out that section of the foundational products, and then we head into lead generation products, being either social media advertising or pay-per-click, which is going to be Google Ads. And then from there, that point moving forward, we're able to bring in those sales that will convert in those foundational product places. And then just from there, we have branding and awareness tools, which is going to be things like OTT CTV, geofencing and display, streaming audio campaigns. And those are going to be what really lead customers in to end up converting at those foundational products like that website, phone number, their Google Business Profile or their social media.
Very well said, and I love that roadmap that you just laid out. And if you're listening to this, go back and listen to the episode with Sean Givens, where he goes through those pieces as well. But I love the fact that you guys are so focused on making sure everyone understands that, hey, you have to have this foundation set. And if you're looking to drive sales, great, we'll do that piece once we have the foundation set, and then do the lead gen products, like you said. And then at that point, it's the larger kind of ongoing brand awareness. That all ties back in as well to the billboards that are obviously providing that brand awareness locally. So
yes,
love how that all kind of plays hand in hand. It makes perfect sense and why we offer those services. So with having this expansive set of products and services to offer, right? I'm a franchisee. You just laid out a bunch of stuff. Maybe I don't have a background in digital marketing. Where do I start, Claire? I know you mentioned bundles. I know I get that, but like when I am going out, I'm trying to start selling ads on my screens. I'm trying to start selling some of these digital products. How do you coach me as a new franchisee to have success with that?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So our client services department is really what is kind of kicking off that onboarding and training for a franchisee. They're beginning with that network, building their client network, building their venue partner locations. And from that point where they reach the threshold of about 15 to 20 screens, we say 15 to 20 host locations or venue partners, we start to introduce DMS a little bit. And what that looks like is it's going to consist of trainings, phone calls, emails, where we're coordinating times to meet with these franchisees to go over everything as far as what a Google business profile is, to how to pitch OTT, and to what businesses does it make sense to pitch to. And that is going to be a 3 type of meeting training initially. And from that point moving forward, we'll go into check-in calls. We always have proposals that we're building for them with request forms that they're able to kind of fill out to have any extra assistance with those. We're leading it with phone calls and checking in on those types of prospects and clients. And we're really nurturing those franchisees every step of the way to feel equipped with materials as well. We have a bunch of different sales flyers and materials for them to use when they are prospecting for those products. So it's going to be kind of 3 main areas. First, what are these digital marketing products? Who are going to be, the best products to sell to, which products, since we do take that consultative approach. And then lastly, how do we pitch this in the field and to which businesses? So that's kind of the way that we kick off that onboarding once they transition into selling DMS with the screens.
With all this, you mentioned, follow-ups and all this kind of stuff. What's the limit on that to the franchisees? How often are they allowed to contact you guys?
There is no limit. So our support is indefinite. So anytime that they have a question, they can feel free to call our DMS line, text it. I'm a big texter with some of these franchisees as well. It's very convenient. But we have email communication, and we have those Google Meet meetings as well. So anything that they could possibly need, obviously we're going to be available to answer for them.
You just mentioned, I see you, messaging, texting, whatever you call that, with a lot of these franchisees. And I think that's a kind of a lost thing that people kind of overlook. They're like, cool, you offer the text, you offer the email, that kind of support. But think about how many real life situations that you're in where you need to reach out to someone in real time, and you have a Claire to reach out to. You have other members of digital marketing. You have these members of client services. I love the fact that you guys offer that. Mm-hmm. So with this comprehensive approach, you're reaching out in these different ways. You're looking at different aspects of the business. How do you tie all this together to a new franchisee that may feel a little bit overwhelmed with all this at once?
Our initial call that we go over with franchisees to kick off what DMS is our whole goal is to give off bite-sized pieces that are digestible for DMS. I totally understand that the world of digital marketing is, first of all, very new, but also it's very, very, just complicated. So with that being said, there's a lot of different products and a lot to memorize or learn, but we do offer that support so that they know that they're not in it alone. We're there to help every step of the way. We also offer an amazing resource that I push every franchisee to go through, and that's going to be discovery webinars. What those are going to be basically marketing consultations for any prospects that you will talk to for DMS as a franchisee. So if you have a business that you go door knock to and you're having a conversation about maybe they need more sales and you don't know exactly which products are going to be the best, but you know that you can offer something. With that being said, all you have to do is say, hey, I would love to get you on a call with our team to go over a little bit more information on how we can help you answer any questions, set expectations, and be able to offer you something that can help you get that, achieve that goal of more sales. And that's going to be something that they have access to book through our online portal with, sales rep who's going to be able to assist in that conversation. And our sales rep will basically lead that call and, touch base with the franchisee prior to that meeting to make sure that they're always on the same page. But then after that, we also create that proposal for that franchisee to send back to the client. So we have a really great funnel of how we turn prospects into customers, into clients. So we're there to help those franchisees in any event that they might not know the answers.
So you guys help them prospect and find the best lead opportunities, sales opportunities in their area. I just want to make sure I'm on the same page. You get the franchisee to book that call with our team, our digital marketing sales arm. Mm-hmm. They get on the call with their client. Our team takes their client through everything. Franchisee's just kind of there, right? Participating and learning, of course. And then you guys create the proposal.
Absolutely.
So from the franchisee's perspective, what are they doing?
All they have to do is get out of their house and go door knock and prospect.
That's cool. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So to clarify, you guys are helping with the prospecting piece. We can talk about that more in a second. You're helping them get their client on a discovery webinar where our team is taking them through the process of selling them these products, finding the best fit for this particular business, and then you guys are providing the proposal. That alone is a ton, but what other resources do you guys provide to help them build their business?
So we actually offer something called a host audit. So that's going to be something that our team is able to essentially research and audit the entire online presence of your host network. And that's kind of what is introduced once we introduce DMS at the beginning, once they hit that 15 to 20 screen threshold of those locations. And we're able to essentially look at their Google Business Profile, website, and social media for all of those hosts and dive into what are they doing right and what are they doing wrong? Where do they have room for improvement that we can help and assist in that point? And this is something that we go through with that franchisee on those calls after it's completed. And we find those best prospects, those first priority prospects, and then maybe some that are second or third priority. Maybe they have more management going on their profiles or their website's more up to date. And this is going to be an amazing resource for these franchisees to be able to have that in their back pocket when they walk into those conversations of door knocking for a DMS or even just talking to their host locations about a possible upsell opportunity. It's going to literally be in their back pocket. It's something that they can reference in those conversations very easily and even print out some of that information, show those businesses exactly where they need help, where they need improvement, and how we can help them get more customers.
Dang, you guys do all of that research on their behalf.
Yes.
That's incredible. And I could see that, especially in the early stages, being a great educational opportunity, but also obviously, like you said, a great Kickstarter to go, here's all the value points. Go talk to them about that. Wow. So from the franchisee's perspective, you put this together for them. You help do all this research. I go talk to these businesses. I bring them to the call. I land some of them. What have you? What then? I get through my host network. I've talked to all these businesses. I've made some sales. Where do I go next?
Yeah, so that's when we start transitioning into more of those bundles. After upselling your existing client network and working with them for those possible DMS upsell opportunities, we want to focus on being able to bundle with the screens. We never want to forget what makes you unique as a franchisee, being those indoor digital billboards. So with that being said, after you've kind of been through talking to your host locations about those DMS opportunities for the time being, you're able to really branch out and prospect for new advertisers or new host locations bundled with DMS. And what that looks like is us kind of coaching those franchisees through how you can kind of go out and which businesses are going to be the best fit for which bundles. Our most popular bundle being GBP and screens, because it is so well versed together, is going to be one that we're really focused on. And it's pretty affordable for those, businesses as well. Pretty much every business can afford that type of bundle for advertising. And then we kind of branch into more of bundling with screens and, lead generation campaigns like Google Ads or social media advertising to be able to cater to those businesses who might need or have different goals. So we really introduce those DMS products and different types of bundles moving forward to be able to not only get new advertisers and host locations, but kind of kill two birds with one stone and offer both to all of those new prospects moving forward.
I love the fact that you guys do these bite-sized pieces, and I see it, and it does ease a lot of anxiety on the front end, because I know with any business, you're going to get involved in something and kind of, slowly learn, not even business, anything you do, you kind of learn to ride the bike, and suddenly you get to a point where you do tricks and all kinds of cool stuff, right, as a kid. Well, what I have seen is that you guys are so hands-on and so, able to conform to the type of person that you're meeting with, that you have taken franchisees from day one being totally green in digital marketing, sales, and all that, and they're now landing national clients. They're now landing huge, I don't say any names, but like football teams and soccer teams and band venues and massive restaurant chains and all that. So how are you guys able to help these people scale to that level over time?
It all goes back to the support that we're able to provide, right? Because some of these franchisees, it's really just them and their business to start out. So us being able to help on the back end with those proposals, that admin work, helping them prospect, we really are working for those franchisees. We are there every step of the way. And as they scale, we do obviously never stop that education. We never stop learning about, new marketing trends, new products. Maybe we offer a new service every, once in a while. It's going to be something where we're constantly scaling with that franchisee to help them have the opportunities that they're able to end up getting with those national and bigger corporations.
Fantastic answer. And this is something I talked to Sean about as well. But digital marketing it's evolving. We all see that. We all know that, right? And with AI and all kinds of stuff, and everything's having, obviously your background, social media. I was kind of joking with Sean because we kind of, when we grew up, it was like MySpace for a while, and then Facebook and all that kind of stuff, right? So where I'm going with this is, with digital marketing being ever evolving, how do you and your team constantly stay up to date on all the latest trends, algorithms, all of that, with them moving so rapidly?
Well, when it's your passion, it's easier. The way that we stay up to date with new marketing trends, maybe new products, things like that, is going to be primarily with digital marketing. We are constantly on platforms like those websites. LinkedIn is a huge one as well, where I'm constantly, just in my free time, looking at all the news updates, just specifically for digital marketing. I want to see, all the latest trends, not only on social media, but also how digital marketing is evolving. And that's something that our team is really committed to. It's something that we're very involved in. We're always looking for better ways to be able to serve our franchisees in those specific realms of digital marketing and specific products. So with that being said, for example, social media is becoming a very large search engine. It's the second most popular search engine behind Google at this time. I'm sure AI will catch up to that as well. It's a race between those three, but it is going to be something that, I mention in my trainings. I always talk to these franchisees about what's changing, what's evolving, and how we can implement that into our pitch, into our sales, and with our clients as a whole.
I say this as an endearing term. I look at the digital marketing team as kind of like the super nerds of our company in a great way. Not in a way like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys just always have the answer, and you guys always are doing all this research, and you come with so much enthusiasm and passion, where you're like, have you guys seen this new, especially like you, Claire, and some of the people around you are like, especially this new AI tool or this or that. And I'm like, I don't know, but let's see it. And you guys are able to take it to that next level. So the fact that you do have that hunger and this culture that's built around constantly developing, I think is really cool. So that's what I wanted to kind of have you speak about. So I really appreciate that. So with the culture that we have here at NTV360, how would you just define that in your own words, Claire?
I think that our culture is best described as a work hard, play hard mentality. What we love to do is we all work together and we come together when anyone needs it on the team. Our support is not just with our franchisees, it's with each other. And with that being said, I'm here to assist all of my teammates, and I know that they have my back in that sense as well. And we also are all very close. Since we are such like-minded people and such like-minded groups, it's very easy to connect with the people that I work with, and we're hanging out outside of work too. It never ends. So that's something that I would say is one of the best parts about working at NTV360 is going to be the culture and the people that I work with.
Fantastic. I agree 100%. I went on in probably the last few podcasts, but it's insane to walk in here and just feel the energy, feel the passion, and just be around all these cool people. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't agree more with that. Just to kind of wrap this up, right? If you're working with someone, they just put up their 20th screen, right? They're approaching that point where they're ready to start getting involved in digital marketing services and start to work with you and your team. What is the one piece of advice you would give to a franchisee that's newer in that particular stage?
What I would say to someone in that stage is that it's not as scary as it looks. I feel like digital marketing, because it is so ever evolving and something that's constantly changing, a lot of people look at it as something that's unattainable to constantly be fully researched and up to date on exactly which products are what and how to be able to pitch them. But it's something that I would let franchisees know that it is not as scary as it looks. And it's something that we are there to assist every step of the way. Definitely take advantage of those materials and resources that we send over and give them, because it's going to make all of the difference.
Great advice. Appreciate you, Claire. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully you'll come on again sometime in the future. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Patrick.
Appreciate it.
For more information on how to become an NTV360 franchisee, please contact us at ntv360.com. NTV360. Watch us.